Okay, this is a little explainer about the Dear Sender project that I started, which is a community project. I have a drive where people upload little samples of audio and text, and could be pictures and videos, still waiting on those. And the first song from that project is called So Much Deadly, and this is going to be me just showing you how I made the song using the samples from the box. So I didn't have that many samples in the box yet when I started with this first one, and I listened through and I just looked to see what might be interesting and inspiring. So the first thing I used as a basis for the song is a little guitar piece from Jan. So let's have a little listen to this. So you might have recognized that already, and I was really into the picking parts here. And so I strung those together, and that was one of the key elements for this song. The next sample I used was from Alex. It was a drum loop. Due to me being confusing and talking about Christmas in my call for samples, Alex thought we were making a Christmas song. So this is a drum loop with sleigh bells in it. Oh, here we go. And Alex also gave me samples soloed. So just the sleigh bells, just the hi-hats, the kick, and snare with clap. And then the third sample I used from the box was some piano and singing from Marie. Yeah, so as you can see, 3 extremely different samples, and it was an amazingly interesting challenge to try to figure out how to bring these things together into a new song of my own. And so I was using really small pieces of the material and also experimenting with them to see how I can make them sound different and use them in a creative way. And so it sort of ended up being almost like a sampled, not hip-hop type approach, I guess, if I'm allowed to say such a sacrilegious thing. Okay, so let's have a listen, and we'll hear more as we go along. So there you hear Jan's guitar, which I've cut to make a sample. Just Jan's guitar. Which I haven't done much to, honestly. And then I used Alex's one shot, his single shots that I showed you of just single drum beats. Like that, and I put those onto a drum rack, which is down here, and here they are in the rack. So I have also messed with those sounds a bit, sometimes transposing them. You can see that over here to make them higher or lower, and sometimes using filters, and that's what made this beat. Okay, and then the other thing that comes in here sound, which I made by, I bought a contact mic and I was trying to figure out what to do with it and ended up putting it in my mouth, which is strange but true, and it, you know, ended up being something I used in this song, my own little sample. Right, so I also got some text from Miri, and it was quite a long text and very personal, and I didn't quite know how to make it my own, but I was really drawn to these lines. This pain in my heart is making me start. It feels so much deadly. And of course, it feels so much deadly is not exactly grammatically correct in English, but all the more charming for that. So here is that text.
This pain in my heart is making me. This pain in my heart is making me. This pain in my heart is making me. This pain in my heart is making me start. It feels so much deadly.
All right, so there's a bit to get into there. The vocals we've spoken about. I have got a high octave here on Jan's guitar, where I've pitched it up over here, so using this transpose 12 semitones as an octave, and I've messed with this section here, so these settings create different sounds. So here we can listen to it on beats. That's on texture, excuse me. Here comes beats. So you can hear it just influences it slightly differently. And I always play with those and also with the grain size. And so that's how that sound arrived. So just to hear that again in context.
This pain in my heart is. This pain in my heart is making me.
We've got these slides coming in here, which are actually played on a bass by Graham. And just really fun. Pan them hard right and left and kind of messed with the way they sound using some filtering and overdrive and different flangers and things. And then yes, our next sample actually comes in here, so let's just listen to this again. Here we go.
This pain in my heart is making me start. It feels.
So this here, I believe it or not, is actually Marie's piano sample. And the way I did that, if we go back to the original, just so you can hear that and remember what that sounded like, is I warped the sample, which means I can play with its timing. And these two buttons down here, you can either stretch the sample to make it longer and slower, or you can crunch it up. So I crunched it up and made it shorter, so I should let you listen. And there you see how I got to this.
start.
And these have also been pitched up using transpose, and I've also been playing here with texture and tone and grain sizes to make that sound. All right, let's keep going.
Start. It feels so much deadly.
Here comes in some nice bass from Graham. Some overdrive and and then we come into the next part of the song where I again used Marie's sample, and instead of crunching it and making it shorter, I stretched it out and made it really long. Yeah, so there's that thing. Da, 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 da. Nice and high. And that's the basis for this whole section. And here come in the clarinets. These were played by Rosanna. I felt like I wanted something acoustic to happen in the context of all this sort of manipulated sound and sampled sound, and so
It feels so much.
That's why I went for that. Yeah, and I guess. Oh, have we gotten to the most important part? We have not. Well, the most important, but this is important stuff. So this drum loop here, which in my head is basically the kind of hook of this song. Believe it or not, if we unwarp the, oh, not unwarp it, sorry. If we take these effects off, you might recognize this. There you go. So that's Alex's sleigh bell sample that I have obviously brought up in tempo, and then I'm using a delay filter and a flanger and yet another flanger, and that was honestly just a really lucky mistake or whatever. You can play with this feedback and envelope here, and yeah, just landed at the screaming whooper that makes this song so fun. So that was a lucky coincidence. Yeah, and I combined that with a bunch of different drums. And that is how we got this effect. So yeah, thanks for listening with me. I hope you enjoyed getting a little look into the song. And yeah, what can I say? It's on Bandcamp. It would be great if you would give it a support and possibly even buy it. 50% of the proceeds are going to Berliner Obdachlosen e.V. for homeless people in Berlin. And the song will be out on Spotify on the 26th of March. So if you guys would be willing to support that, put it in a playlist or save it or whatever, that would be amazing. And there will be more songs soon. There are more samples in the box. I've already made a bunch of headway with the second song, and keep putting things in there. If you would like, I'll put the link down below or wherever it goes. And thanks for your support and your interest. And yeah, I'm thinking about possibly starting a Patreon, and if I do so, then I think part of that would mean tutorials like this about home studio stuff, about Ableton, about songwriting. So I guess let me know if that's something that sounds interesting to you, and then I'll, possibly take that idea more seriously and actually make it happen. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day.